in 2 weeks or a fortnight,
Yeah.
you're going to be camping at Crystal Lake. Do you want to prepare a little bit more?
Yes, please. I would love to prepare a little bit more.
It's the Friday the 13th remake.
Go on, then. What's happening in this?
You enjoy this one?
Fuck this film.
Basically, it's a lot of what happened in the first 3 or 4 films smushed into one film with a bizarre comedic but dark tone and lots of tits and weed.
Yeah. Lots of tits and weed. Like, we've talked about it so many times now on the different things that we've done, but it's like, it's really hard seeing a film like this and going, what Friday the 13th were you watching? That you were like, what were you taking from those original movies? Like, what were you taking from those to go, or did you just not care and you just go, we're going to do something completely different?
I think a lot of some of my points on this follow on from last week.
Yeah, definitely.
Where it's like, it's a tone issue for me.
Yeah.
Because there is weed in a lot of those films.
Absolutely.
There is a lot of boobs in those films.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of sex.
Yeah.
But in like the first Friday the 13th film, it's quite like, not light-hearted, but it's quite jolly and they're having a laugh.
Yeah.
Whereas this...
Also feels a lot more normal.
Yeah, it's like natural. Yeah. Whereas in this film, there's a version of 2 people having sex that is more in keeping with the dark tone of this film.
Yeah.
Where it's just 2 people having sex.
Yeah.
And it's played as normal. But when like the girl at the beginning gets her boobs out.
Yeah.
What film is that from?
Yeah, behind the guy.
Yeah.
Like,
and then when they're having sex, making like weird comments.
Yeah.
So that feels like from a different film. Or when he finds all the weed and he's like so excited.
Yeah.
The darker version is they're like actual drug runners.
Yes.
Or they're like there's a darker, edgier side to them, and they're like, right, it's all this weed.
Because there's that kind of, because the same people who made this are the same people who made that Texas Chainsaw Massacre
It's Platinum
remake.
Dunes. It's the exact same director as that.
Yeah. Which I do think that Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake
has a lot to answer for.
Is very good. Like, I remember loving it.
But kickstarts this. So the run is Platinum Dunes,
Yeah.
co-studio with Michael Bay as a founder.
Yeah.
TCM remake. Amityville.
Right.
They did.
The Ryan Reynolds one.
Yeah. Then they did another Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
And then they remade The Hitcher. And then this came out.
Right, yeah.
So it was very much... And then Marcus Nispel, the German director, I think, was quite fated after that Texas Chainsaw. Because people did like it.
I think it's really good and it's generally scary.
And then a lot of films followed it in kind of like a look and a feel.
Because there is a storyline in that Texas Chainsaw Massacre where they are essentially drug runners.
Yeah.
Because they're smuggling, they go into a Lynyrd Skynyrd concert, but they're smuggling weed into the concert. There's like a whole thing. Because that's basically, when Gunnery Sergeant pulls them over in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he finds the weed on them. So you're like, shit, this cop is actually in the right because they're running drugs. That's not what happens here. But.
And I think that's what's like at odds here is you've got this very like dark and sinister looking film in many ways, shot in a more kind of like real life way, like But then all the characters are still cartoons,
and the music cues as well, like there's like silly little music cues all the way through it.
Do you want a plot summary?
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, I've already done that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's how forgettable it is.
Yeah.
But like, and also, this is actually quite an easy section for us in this podcast. Does it connect? No, that's the point.
No,
because I think originally this was mooted as like a reboot, or like an origin story for Jason. But then they kind of actually just start like remaking lots of bits from the first few movies.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Because they obviously know they can't do Pam's story.
No.
Because that just doesn't work, because you've got like 20, 30 years of films where people expect it to be Jason. So the Pam stuff, the entire events of Friday the 13th 1 is relegated to prologue.
Yes, yeah.
And then you also have this weird, that's flashback prologue.
Yeah.
Then you have the big prologue before the main credits.
Yes.
Of like the initial kids that get killed.
Yeah.
Which is Jason from part 2 with the bag on his head.
Yes.
And then you get almost then a remake of the first movie.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the third movie, because he gets the chase, and it's like recognizable Jason.
It's weird as well because what's really interesting is I read a bunch of stuff that the director was talking about, and someone asked him, was like, why didn't you remake the first one exactly like for like? And the way that he referred to the sort of like twist ending was, oh, I always hated that Scooby-Doo ending. And I was like, that's such a disconnect from how I view that film. Because he's like, thinks it's silly and it's like, sort of like a bit crap. Whereas like, that's brilliant. Like, that's not Scooby-Doo. Like, I know that happens in a lot of Scooby-Doo episodes. But like,
it's
a really strange way of looking at it.
It's not like Scooby-Doo ending is like...
But I think like that's the sort of a good example of like the disconnect, I think, between what he wanted to do and what I would have liked this film to be.
Yeah,
which we can't talk about. We got to talk about what he's done. But I just find like it feels like so long before we actually see Jason. We go for big spurts where he's just not there, and I just find it all incredibly boring.
It is quite boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Is it on Friday the 13th?
No. Well, I mean, Jason's death is.
Yeah.
So I guess we all in the early days of this podcast, that's something we kind of got muddled in, because the series gets muddled in. It does, whether it's enough for Jason just to have died on Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Because that is the core source of bad luck in this world.
Yeah.
It doesn't then need to be like he just kills on Friday the 13th, because then he's like, is he just calendar watching like Michael Myers?
Yeah.
So I think they sidestep that, because I think it says June or July 13th, 1980 is when he died.
Yeah.
I checked, that is a Friday.
Yes. Oh, that's
did the due diligence. And then it says present day. It doesn't say when. And then it's like 6 weeks later. So we don't really know when it is in the present day.
Yeah. It's just, it's just an odd film, this. I'm not sure. That's the thing, is like, I was just sitting there watching it going like, I feel like so many of good horror movies benefit from like rewatching because they're fun. Whereas this, I was like, I'm never popping this on again.
I don't think a lot of these remakes are like fun.
No.
But there's like the Halloween ones.
Yeah.
It's just like nastiness.
Yes, there is.
And I feel like some of the, like, I don't mind some of the set pieces in this.
Yeah.
Like, I think we'll talk about this in Kills, but like when he's like stabbing through the floor, like there's some sequences.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I like some small aspects of it, but just the overall film is a slog.
It is. It massively is. But let's talk about Jason. Let's talk about his look.
He's fucking massive again.
Massive. New guy, Derek Mears.
Yeah. Apparently he's a really lovely man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's got alopecia.
Oh, okay.
So alopecia is when your body thinks hair is a foreign entity and tries to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So it's quite sweet. Growing up, he identified with Jason because Jason is bald. That's so he's like, cute. Is a role that I always wanted.
He's got some chops, this guy, as well.
He's good.
Played a Predator. Played the Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's in the new Salem's Lot as well.
Is he?
But what I do, this is like one of the small things of this film that I actually do like.
Yeah.
Is... So if you're going to remake or reboot something, I think you take elements from the original and then you reconfigure them, and you have to do something new.
Yes.
Because otherwise, it's a bit pointless to remake it.
Yeah.
That's why my stance always is with like remakes or reboots. Yeah. Do something different, add something extra to it. So in the first few Jason films, he does run, but he's quite bumbling.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, when he runs with a machete, and he's 6'5", like what is he, like probably 250 pounds?
Yeah.
Running at that speed. It's fucking scary.
Yeah.
And I think the way they shoot it, it's just like, let's face it, it's 20 seconds in the entire film.
Yeah.
But the bit where he's like running at pace with the bag on his head, with the machete, I'm like, that's a good shot.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. It's like, we sort of joked about it last week where they were like, oh, the director was like, yeah, we want to go a different way with it. It's like, did you fuck? Whereas this, it does feel like they've gone a different way with it.
Yeah, because they've gone away from what Jason became, which is a bit more Michael Myers-y teleporting.
Yeah.
To like, he's on the hunt. He's essentially Rambo.
Well, that's lots of producers say like their touch point for the actor was John Rambo.
Wait, he's using so many different tools. Yeah. And also he's rigged up Camp Crystal Lake with a bell system.
Yeah.
So he's almost like a trapper.
Yeah.
Which does beg the question, like, what is his game?
Yeah. Because that's the thing. It feels like he's like tricking them and doing a lot sillier things. He also,
But it feels like he's hunting them down. So
hunting is a good thing. He actually feels like he's actually hunting.
With the bow and arrow, the guy, it's an incredible shot.
Yeah.
Because he says, we talk about motivation. So in previous films, he's taking revenge because he's been killed.
Yeah.
But Pam says in the intro to this one, take revenge for me and for you.
Yeah.
But in the prologue, we hear like he is a bit of a myth, but we don't get a sense as like, has he been doing this for many years?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, yeah,
because like the guy tells the story around the campfire a little bit like Paul and 2.
Yes.
And it's just like, the thing is, Jason came back.
Yeah.
So has he been doing this for like many years?
Yeah. Or is that just a little story? Yeah. Watching this film dislodged something, which I don't know why it's only just done now, but when I was in the Cubs, which is like Cubs before Scouts, isn't it? Beavers, Cubs, Scouts. Yeah, that's where it goes. They took us away for the weekend. Took us away. We wanted to go for the weekend to like learn knots and fucking cool shit like that.
How many? 3?
Yeah, that's where I learned the reef knot from. Genuinely, was that weekend. Nothing else.
Need 2 more.
And when they took us away on the first night, we're doing like marshmallows and stuff around a campfire. And one of the people, bearing in mind we're like 8, 9 years old, one of the people told a like murderer ghost story about, and it was basically the one with the car, you know, like where it's like the urban legend one, whereas it's like someone's like flashing their lights at you, but they're flashing you to warn you about the maniac in the backseat. And then they told us that. We were like 8, 9 years old, and we obviously fucking shit ourselves. And then they like, I remember just looking at them, looking so stressed because we were all beside ourselves, absolutely terrified. They were like, "We've misjudged this. We have made a fundamental mistake." And they were like, "We were just all shaking and asleep," and that's all they had to deal with them for like 2 nights. So funny.
Did you get a badge for it?
Yeah, shitting myself in a sleeping bag multiple times. But yeah, no, I didn't. But yeah,
I do like when Wade tells the story around the campfire. He goes, and it gets weirder.
Yeah,
he came back. Well, it's more than just weird.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, isn't it? To be fair.
Resurrection.
So is he supernatural in this?
I guess so.
Yeah.
But it's almost because what this allies from the original is this idea that it feels like he almost instantly came back. That's why the prologue is quite confusing. Because it's like, so is Pam not seeing him?
No, yeah,
or
it's
is
weird.
it? Because they make a big thing, Wade, when he tells that story. He's like, Jason was there on the beach and he saw his mum get decapitated.
Yes, yeah.
But then you're like, well, it doesn't make sense because if Pam could see it, why is she going around killing people?
Yeah.
So it's still that kind of little gap in the film where Jason dies, Pam grieves for him. Pam doesn't know he's alive.
Yeah, which we've had a couple of times in different things.
Yeah, because it's like, was he just living in the wilderness without Pam's knowledge for 20 years?
He really reminds me of, I think it's the second Rob Zombie Halloween, where he's basically like a traveling like hobo. In the bits where hasn't got the mask yet, he really reminds me of that because he's fucking giant.
The one thing I put in this section is like that bit where I like the bag one.
Yeah,
I think that's actually scarier.
That's way scarier. Yeah,
when he's got that like bag strapping on his head, I was like, when he runs, I was like, that looks really scary.
Yeah, it's weird,
more so than the hockey mask, I think. But obviously, you can't not have the hockey mask.
No, exactly. It's a good looking mask, that one is as well. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, give me a little kill overview.
So
stats.
So we have 14 deaths, right?
Yeah.
But one of them is the opening one, which is Pam's decapitation.
Okay, yeah.
So we have 13 Jason kills.
Yeah.
We have 5 with the machete.
Yeah.
Almost half. But also arrows, screwdrivers, and someone's roasted in a sleeping bag.
That's pretty cool.
This is like almost like a little in joke because we've seen other people get killed in sleeping bags before.
Yeah. It's weird because like we get 5 people, like actual deaths before the titles, and then it just feels like it's fucking ages before we see them again.
That's the weird thing. It's like those 2 prologues. That's Friday the 13th one.
Yeah.
That one is like the bag Jason. That's 2.
Yeah.
Where you get the campfire story about the legend of him growing up. So he has to grow up.
Yeah.
So that's like 1 and 2. Then that next film is kind of like 3 and 4. So it almost has to start slow again.
Yeah.
But like, you're right. In terms of rhythm, it's such a slog. Because you've also got her brother looking for her, who's a bit Tommy Jarvis-y.
Yes. Yeah.
She's like locked up and can pretend to be his mum, a bit like Ginny. From 2.
Yes, yeah.
So there's so many like elements they've kind of refashioned and redeployed.
Yeah, it's It's really strange to me. That's the thing. Is like you set up this one group of characters, and I was like, oh, we're going to be with these characters.
You think that's
they die instantly. Yeah. That's cool. I kind of like that. But then it's like, oh, now we have to set up the next ones. But I do kind of like the Tommy Jarvis character. I kind of like that coming back. That's really good. But then having to set up all these other people, but then make them all, with a couple of exceptions, pretty unlikable. Like Trent, that's got to be one of the worst characters in any Friday the 13th I've ever seen. That guy's a fucking asshole. That shop scene, I wasn't looking forward to watching that again because I remember seeing this in the cinema. And I remember going like, what is this film? Who's written this? Who speaks like that? Like, no one speaks like that. Why would he be so mean to that guy?
Well, this is
it doesn't make any sense.
Again, it's like the thing, they're all like little cartoons.
They're absolute cartoons.
But the rest of the film wants to be so serious.
Yeah.
So you're like, you can't have it both because they don't work in this. Like, I think he's quite funny in some ways. Like in a more broader comedic film, he is less annoying. Like when he screams and stuff. He's meant to be a ridiculous, horrible character.
Yeah, it's just like that one bit where he's so awful.
Rude to shopkeepers.
Yeah, well, he's rude to someone in a shop.
And we will not do that.
Do you know what's really weird about Trent? That actor played another dickhead in the Transformers movie. Do you know what that character's called? Trent.
That's weird.
These are the same universe.
It's like that Bob fella turning up in
in
Thunderbolts. He's like, I can do other things.
Yeah. But isn't that wild?
You know what his real name is?
No.
Travis Van Winkle.
Fucking hell. Yeah, the Tommy Jarvis character who's looking for his sister, he's probably
from Supernatural.
Yeah, he's from Supernatural, isn't he? So it's probably one of the most successful people.
Yeah,
because I think Kelly Rowland, she's not a successful actress. She's a successful pop singer.
Yeah, that show ran for 20 years.
It was huge.
I don't think I've seen a single episode.
No, I couldn't tell you what it's about. For some reason, I thought he was one of the Suits lads. And then I looked it up and I was like,
because I think by the time he was known for that when he got this.
Right.
I think he'd been running for 3 or 4 years.
Okay. Had he?
Yeah, I think Supernatural, this is 2009. I think Supernatural started in 2005.
See, he was massive then.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I remember, I just
throb.
I just remember seeing Supernatural shit everywhere. Like,
that's a good out of context quote.
Yeah, no, yeah. Anytime you were torrenting movies or something at uni, it was always Supernatural. Supernatural was always the fucking top. I don't know why people are into that so much. I have literally no idea what it's about. But yeah, I could have done with Trent's death being better. It's a bit shit, really. I think
there are some good ones in here, though.
Yeah.
I do like roasting in a sleeping bag.
Yeah, that's really good.
I like, just because it's such a shot, the arrow out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's fun.
Because it's broad daylight. Yeah. He's in the middle of the lake. You're like, well, you're going to see Jason get to him before and it just happens. Yeah.
Because, it also comes after the fucking girl wakeboarding topless to the Hives. So, and apparently, she had to learn how to wakeboard. It was holding up production and stuff.
Get someone who can
Get somebody else.
What?
I would. Maybe it was one of those things you lied on your CV. Is can you wakeboard? Hi, yeah, couldn't love it.
Or direct.
And she's like, oh, we're gonna have a 15-minute wakeboarding scene where you're gonna have your boobs out. Actually, so hopefully you can.
Do you know about how she was originally meant to die?
No.
He actually no. So this is favorite kill. Sadly, this is ineligible.
Right.
But this would be my favorite kill if it was in the film.
Go on.
So I heard this anecdote told by Derek Mears, who played Jason. So the idea was, she hits her head and she's all discombobulated, and she sees Jason on the shore.
Yeah.
So she panics, but she's like, well, I'm safe because he's on land, I'm in the water, I've got some distance. So she starts swimming down the shore.
Right.
And then Jason just follows her.
All right.
And watches her. And then it cuts away and it goes to the rest of the characters in the cabin.
Yeah.
There's a long scene with them. Goes to nightfall. It cuts back to the lake and Jason's still following her. And basically, she just drowns through tiredness and exhaustion because he basically just intimidates her so much she doesn't come out onto shore.
That's pretty nasty, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've thought with this, because she doesn't see the arrow go in.
No, I think she has no idea what's probably happened, right?
But she immediately goes mental when she sees him.
Maybe
I'd have been like, mate, can you give me a hand?
Yeah,
I don't think I would...
Hockey, man.
Yeah. I don't think I would initially be like,
you're right,
oh my
though.
God, he's going to kill me.
Also, she's probably got a concussion.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she does kind of go bonkers pretty quickly. But I was like, I wouldn't be that scared of him, really. Hi, mate.
What do you think?
What do you think? What's your favorite one? I mean, like, I feel pretty crap saying favorite with this one because they're all quite gritty and quite nasty, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the staging's quite good on the poker through the eye. Then you see it go through the door.
Yeah, that's cool.
I thought also the one. What's the name of the character? Let me find this one. It's the one where it's Lawrence.
Yeah.
So he throws the axe.
Yes.
And it hits him in the back.
Yeah.
And it's again.
He tries to fight him.
It gets and it goes back to the hunter thing where Jason uses him as bait.
Yeah.
And all of them are too cowardly to go out and help their friend. So it results in quite a fun situation and a scene where Lawrence is dying and he's like, help me.
Yeah.
And they're all like, you go help him.
I think his death is really odd because when it happened, I was like, I feel like this is I feel like I've spent no time with this fella.
Yeah.
I feel like I've spent no time with that character.
I think that's a lot of them you
whatsoever.
don't really.
Because I kind of like the Chewie character. He's literally called Chewie. Who's like just getting stoned all the time. He's got that cool briefcase with a cool bong in it, like that. But yeah, it's like, I think one that kind of just shows how is just the character who is like working in that garage and he's like talking to the doll and stuff.
And he has the porn mag.
Yeah,
he's the guy who gives him the mask essentially.
Yeah. I hate that.
What do you think? Do we think like do you like the fire poker that goes through the eye and then through the door?
I do, or I really like the sleeping bag as well.
Should we do sleeping bag for nostalgia?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but, a woman roasted. So Amanda roasted in a sleeping bag.
Yeah, best kill. But what can we learn from that?
Honestly, I feel there's so little we can learn from this film in general.
Yeah, but like the thing is, one of the things that is weird is they actually go chasing Jason quite a lot in this. Like people go after him. Maybe that's not a good one. But also, I know we said don't be rude to shopkeepers. Don't be rude to other people in the shop either. Because honestly, that scene does my fucking Sweden.
Just don't be,
But we had last week. We had don't be mean to your partner. What have we got?
Don't try to find drugs near Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah,
I know it's like don't use drugs. Don't go out trying to be a drug dealer.
Were those people there looking for it?
So in the prologue,
yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were trying to track it down. So the guy he's like, I found it.
Right.
So that's what they're trying to track down.
So I didn't know if that was an accident they'd find it. But
no, I think they're trying to find this. I think they've heard on the grapevine that there's loads of weed being grown. Don't grow weed near Camp Crystal Lake.
What if Jason grew it though? To get people there.
Oh,
that's cool.
Because it's like hunter shtick.
What's I'm pretty sure, isn't New York and New Jersey legal to have weed?
I don't know. I still say that with like West Coast, but I don't know.
Oh,
maybe not when this, I don't know.
Maybe we shouldn't be bringing weed to Camp Crystal Lake. That's one. Not that we
also, we're flying there.
We'll be fucking flying, mate. I have to worry about it now.
We're flying,
I got to drive.
We're flying Virgin as well.
I got to drive.
I'm glad we're flying Virgin.
Virgin.
Okay. Okay, well, should we just say, don't bring weed and fly Virgin?
Yeah, fly a Virgin, leave a Virgin.
Okay, do you want to recap?
Yes, please.
I actually don't want to rhyme for this last one. Okay, we'll figure out when we get there.
Okay.
Don't play Strip Monopoly or Strip Anything.
Yeah.
Don't skinny dip. Don't be rude to shopkeepers. I'm actually going to add in brackets that one. We're going to amend them. Or anyone in the shop.
Yeah. Or anyone in the shop, yeah.
Or anyone in the shop.
Yeah.
Don't leave the bathroom door unlocked.
Yeah.
Don't be annoying.
Yeah.
Don't get lost. Don't have birthday party paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Don't throw someone into Camp Crystal Lake.
Good.
Don't make Jason themed food, but we can eat Jason themed food.
Perfect.
Don't punch Jason. Don't be a dickhead to your partner. Don't take weed
to Crystal Lake.
To Camp Crystal Lake. That's what I'm putting.
I think on the rules, they're very specific about not taking any booze as well.
Oh, so these are actually their rules.
Well, it's good rules in general, but I think they're like, don't bring it, because it's like a kid's thing. And also like, you can't be turning up and having a few beers at Camp Crystal Lake and then they've got to sort you out or whatever.
Put us to bed, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think it's a good one. Awesome. I like that a lot. What about our survivors and who survives?
Was Clay and Whitney are there at the end?
Yeah.
But we also then have the jump scare, which heavily implies that he's probably going to kill them both.
Yeah.
Or at least Whitney, he grabs her.
Yes.
So are there any survivors? And I know you don't see it, so maybe don't count it, but like she's definitely gone her, and like, what's he doing?
Yeah. That's kind of a weird one, isn't it?
Do you not think he's really disappointing at the end that he doesn't get sucked into the meat grinder? Or the wood chipper?
That's really odd, that is.
It feels like, Chekhov's wood chipper.
Yeah. You're like, oh, here we
go.
Well,
he's going in that, and he just stops.
Sort of hits his head on it.
And you're like, why do you think that's doing it?
But is it like a safety thing with the wood chipper? I mean, I don't care. But is it like a safety thing with the wood chipper?
You just feel like you're going to see his head go into it. And it's like what they do in Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
Chuck him in, make him into, like, I know he's going to come back. Just make him into mulch.
Yeah. Because he's not coming back from that, is he?
Yeah. And if he does, good on him.
Yeah.
You can't complain if he comes back from that.
No, that's true. They really get a grip on the Jason's man thing pretty quickly as well in this, don't they?
Yeah, because there's that locket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
That, because it feels like I was like, where are you getting that info from? How are you making that leap?
Because like, she's been there for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
In that basement.
Yeah.
Does he like go like act like she's his mom?
Guess so. I guess maybe she gets a better handle on it from that. Yeah, what can we learn from this? I
think we never
don't remake good films.
Well, that's definitely good. Because I was going. This is one I almost like tabled for part 2.
Yeah,
is work on your Pam Voorhees impression.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big one
because we know it's helped multiple characters right now.
Yeah,
but I also do think don't make remakes.
Yeah,
no.
No remakes if you don't have a point to make. And this does not have a point to make.
Yeah, money. Remakes, if you have good ideas, do the remake.
Yeah.
What are you going to say? How will you formalize
that? No pointless remakes.
No pointless remakes. Down with this sort of thing.
That's good, yeah.
Right.
Because I guess it's been, I can't off the top of my head. Like Halloween 2018. I know that's not a direct, it's not a remake.
It's really good.
But it's fucking brilliant.
It's really good.
Doesn't matter what comes after it. Halloween 2018 is absolutely brilliant. And that's more of a sequel, I guess, than a remake, so you could have done that. But, it's got, I guess...
It's a midpoint between the two.
Yeah.
This is retreading a lot of... Right, do you want me to just go through these
Yes,
quickly?
Please.
Right, this is the inspirational list.
Okay.
Learn how to tie at least 3 knots.
Yes.
Go to a bar for most of the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Make an impact.
Yeah.
Bound for Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
Learn how to do a fireman's lift. Master your cult. Big one, that. Learn telekinesis or be able to move something using the power of magic.
Yeah.
Take a horror pen. Take the Necronomicon.
Yeah.
Don't lose your head. Drug him.
Yeah.
No pointless remakes.
Yeah, I like that. No pointless remakes. That's really funny. It's good for like the last actual film that we get to do that.
Yeah. Because it's also like there's not been another one.
No. We are getting this show apparently still, this TV series, which is apparently still happening.
Well, the A24 version didn't happen, did it? With Brian Fuller.
Fuller's gone, wherever that was going to be.
Because the rumor for that was Charlize Theron as Pam.
I've never seen that Bates Motel.
It's like I've not watched it all. To be fair, there's a whole subplot about growing weed in that.
Is there?
Yeah, because it's like they film it in the Pacific. There's a whole. That's when I kind of dropped off it, where there's loads about. Annoyingly,
who was growing it?
I think it's like Norman Bates' like brother, or he has a half brother from his mum.
Cheech Bates.
Yeah, or like a legit. Yeah. And annoyingly, this is the shit thing about that series. I didn't watch it to the last series.
Right.
And let's face it, you want to see the last series of Norman Bates.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because that's when he's going to kill his mum.
Yeah.
And like go full dress.
Yeah.
Wig.
Mm. Yeah. I guess like it's interesting to think what that could have been, but it's like talking about it like we did before.
I think it's really telling that we're now talking about a different show in the conclusion to this one.
Well, I guess like the ending of this is like,
it's not very good. Like, obviously very hard knowing what the jump scare is at the end of the first one to do something like that. What can you do?
True.
But it's not very good, is it?
It's just crap.
Because the first one has that like kind of dreams, like you're like, is it ambiguity? Is that real or is not? This, I think, just plays as like, oh, he's just going to kill him.
But I guess it's like...
And how's he even got there?
I guess the thing is like, I would say about this film, this is literally pointless, I think. And it's just, it feels like it's got nothing to say. It's got no reason to make it. And you look at something and be like, I'd rather see someone like, you know, like Ty West do like a period set Friday the 13th, you know, with a kind of like style that he's got and have a reason to do it, which is why I guess I'll always be sad. And we talked about it before, but it's like, you know, or like Edgar Wright's Ant-Man. It's like, I'll always be sad to not know what Brian Fuller looked at in Friday the 13th and gone, I would like to make a TV show here.
Well, he's going to like elevate it beyond the point that the material really deserves.
Yeah.
So he's going to add a lot into it that hasn't been present before.
Yeah.
Whereas this just feels like, you know, like on Instagram when you see someone do a cover in the style of.
Yeah.
It's like, here are loads of bits done in like a slightly reworked way.
Faster.
And you're like, cool.
Faster cuts, bigger boobs.
You got a LUT pack.
Yeah.
Nice. So Gavin, do you think you would have survived Friday the 13th remake, or do you not care?
I would have survived, but it's because by not getting involved with stuff, because I wouldn't want to get involved with a lot of these people, to be fair. I'd be like, I'll be all right, I'll be over here.
Well, you're almost fully prepared.
Yeah.
But before we fly to New Jersey to stay overnight at Camp Crystal Lake on Friday the 13th,
wow.
Next week, the week before we go, we're going to go back through our entire journey. We're going to rank every single one of these 12 films, and we're going to recap our lessons.
Fuck yes.
The boy, is he dead too?
Ma'am, we didn't find any boy.